Hey guys, do you remember that a few weeks ago we showed you the bottle of our boat painted?
Yeah, but on the episodes after that one, there is something weird on the paint. I don't know if you noticed. I'm gonna show you one more time, and then you pause the video and write down if you see something weird on the paint, and then we're gonna explain what it is, just to see if you can see, if you have good eyes. Check it out. Yeah, let us know, just pause the video and write down what is wrong with the paint. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. So let's get started.
I'm Roberta.
And I'm Luca.
And for the past year, we have been building our own tiny shipping container house, so we can travel around knowing that we will always have this little place that we can call home.
But guess what? We just found our dream project before we expected. This abandoned sailboat. So we are gonna stop building the house for a couple months to bring our boat back to life. And then we're gonna go back and finish the house.
So this week we are gonna talk about the true house.
Yeah, if you can see, I think you can see here, there is a weird gray or bluish paint around the true hose. And the reason for that is because we painted the true hose inside. Yeah, that sounds weird. We can take a seat because it's a long conversation. Yeah. If you are used to an episode where we just show you us doing things, today we're gonna show a little bit of us doing things, but we are also want to explain the reasons why we did what we did, and this takes a little longer of talking. Sorry for that. If you don't like talking, you just skip this video and you come back next Monday, but I think it's important to explain this. I don't know if we did explain that before. This is a metal boat, and all the true holes are different if compared to a fiberglass boat, because we have no flange on the true hull. What we have is a tube welded to the hull of the boat all the way higher than the waterline. And after that we have a flange, and from that flange we have a valve. So basically, in our way of seeing, this is a good thing, because this means that if a valve breaks, the boat won't sink. That's a lot safer because all the valves are higher than the water line.
And we can change valves while sailing?
Yeah, we can be
not sailing.
Yeah, if we are on the water, really flat water, because if the boat moves, some water will go in, but if the boat's in a flat water, we can exchange valves even on the water without a problem. But this being said, right now is the time where everyone stops working in the marina, so they're all leaving, and sometimes some cars are gonna pass through, but it's the only time we can shoot this because it's not allowed. No one is working now anymore. So everything in life, not everything, but most things, there is the good thing and the bad thing. Nothing is perfect, of course. This is a good thing for safety, but this is meant for a boat that is on the water always, not a boat that's been sitting on the hard for 22 years.
So we had a lot of rust inside of the tubes and a lot of nests of
bees and bugs, and because the boat is just sitting outside of the water, so the pipe is empty. I mean, supposedly it was empty. It was full of bees, nests, and everything you can imagine, plus rust, plus this and plus that. So that was something that we were worrying about, because you never know when the pipe is gonna corrode and create a hole in the pipe, and that becomes dangerous. But then we found out that every one of these pipes are really, really thick. Most of them are like half-inch thick. That means 12 millimeters for who talks in metric. So half-inch thick pipe, that means takes years to corrode all that. So we were really, really worried about the pipes, and took us like a few months to
decide what to do with them.
to come up with a plan, because everything in a project like this, you need to have a plan. What are we going to do with this? How are we going to solve this problem? And the pipe that we were most worried about was the drain from the cockpit.
So?
You can see the top now. Okay, check it out. Yeah. Yeah. This is one of the things we don't like about the boat. That's a solution that I don't. This is the drainage hole for the cockpit, and the end of the pipe is underneath, it's under the water line. That means that there is always water inside of the pipe, and it's almost impossible to treat this pipe, and it's not stainless steel. If it was in stainless steel, would be fine, but it's not stainless steel. What the former owner of the boat said, that they built with a really thick wall, the pipe, so it would rust slowly and would take years to corrode the whole pipe. But it's already like 30 years old, so I don't know, I'm not really sure if we need to change that or not. How rust it is inside, there is rust inside, you can tell, but at least now it's open.
So where's the hole?
This is the hole. This one was fine. You can see you can see the other side. This one was locked.
And now it's open.
Come inside and I'm gonna show you something. The problem is that it's a longer pipe because it goes all the way from the bottom of the cockpit to the bottom of the boat. That means the water line, that's the critical point where the rust can create and can corrode, because it's where the water is in and outside of the water all the time, and there is oxygen. We cannot reach that point. That means we are really far, like maybe a meter far from this point, and we cannot see this point.
And to get worse, one of the
water exhausting from the engine.
Can you say this sentence?
Water exhausting.
One of the water exhausting from the engine is in one of these pipes.
Yeah. See, that's the pipe. This goes to here. Basically, the exhausting for the engine goes to the back of the boat, but as it's too far away and you could not hear if the water is going through, the former owner did a second one, just like a connection, like a T, going a little bit to a thin pipe through this drain, so when you're in the cockpit you can hear the water going through. That means that the engine is running water on the engine, so you can know what's going on. So we try every single way of cleaning these pipes, and we didn't even know if it was really clean. We bought a camera to see inside of the pipes.
We won a camera.
Yeah, we didn't buy, sorry. João, sorry. One of our patrons gave us as a gift. Check this out. That's a camera. And then we put the camera in there and we connect to the phone, and then we can see inside the pipe.
Lights on.
So now you hold this
Cheers.
in a way that I can see. Let's see the first surprise.
It's like an endoscopy. Yeah, it's better to treat better this part, right?
I think it might be better to treat all of them. Sometimes you don't have a perfect solution and you need to do what you need to do. What we did to fix this problem, we're gonna show you now, is we tried to brush as much as we could inside of the pipe, and for that we use a extension for a brush, metal brush. Like we bought a custom-made stainless steel metal brush for the size we wanted. We did a extension that Pedro welded for us, and we used the drill to drill all the way the entire pipe. And in this way we took off all the loose material, all the loose rust, and some of the rust of the walls.
Before the brush, Pedro made a little cup for
like
us,
a cup
and
drill.
we tried to drill with this,
But it didn't work. Yeah, the cup drill would just like hit the walls and wouldn't take off the rust enough. So I think the best way was just to use this brush. This small one.
So we have this brush made. It's stainless steel, and we are cleaning the drains. I'm still working on the hose, getting some notes. Duca is here. It's going.
One by screw. Let's check it out. We're trying to take these and these off.
Now I need to organize this.
That's all the valves. I mean, we have 3 extra ones on the engine, but that's the next step, one step at a time. So we need to buy all these new because most of them are
In a bad shape.
And then from there, we needed to decide a painting system in order to get as close as possible to a good painting, because we cannot guarantee it's going to be perfect, but we need to do what we need to do. So we decided, talking to the paint technician, we came up with a 3 coats, 3 paints system. The system basically is a paint called, I think I'm going to write this one because I don't remember, I think it's called Interseal 670.
It's from International.
From International. It's Interseal 670 HT. I guess that's the name. So basically, the reason why we use this first layer of paint is because it's a really, really good rust protected coat. It's a coat to protect from rust.
And we can use even if we have a little small rust, right?
Yeah. International says it's a tolerant to rusted surface. That means that if you have some rust on the surface, it will seal, it will encapsulate the rust. So that's the reason why I use this paint, and the result is really, really good.
And it was a really thick paint.
Yeah, and it's really, really strong. We let some paint fall on a hose, on the top of a just regular engine hose, and it's really hard to take it off. I almost broke my nails today trying to take a small piece because it's so strong and we really like it. But the only problem is that we cannot sand inside of the pipe. That means that we need to do a 3-layer system straight on one after the other, just waiting for it to dry on the touch. So instead of a full dry and sand and then apply another paint, we needed to wait a few hours until you touch and it's not sticky anymore that much, and then you paint the next paint. And how we did that was, first actually we closed the bottom of the boat, and then we used some thinner just to clean the surface. So we filled the whole pipe with thinner, and then we took off twice each and every one of the pipes. Then we wait until the thinner dries. We applied this other International paint, the one I just talked about. And then after this one, we wait for a few hours, and then we painted with Intertooth. That's the same one of this, the brown one. That basically is a paint to prepare the surface for the anti-fouling paint. So we did the treatment for the steel, for rust, then the primer for the anti-fouling, and then we did the anti-fouling.
We decided to do all the 3 layers because now we can put the valves back in place, because we did all this from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, the way we did is just close the bottom, fill all the way to the top, wait a little bit until the paint impregnates in the whole pipe, and then take off. And in this way we have, I think we have the best possible solution for now. Of course, the best solution would be to have a sandblasting machine with a nozzle that, for example, this is a nozzle, and instead of sandblasting this way, sandblast around the pipe. But we don't have this here. We don't have the solution. We don't have the machine to rent or anything. So we need to do the way we think it's gonna last for a while, and I actually think it's gonna last for a long time. Once we go to the water, all the pipes are gonna be full of water. The only bad ones are the drain from the cockpit that's we have half full, half not. And for that, we need to take the chance. And in a year, if we see we have problems, we maybe cut the pipe and exchange the pipe for stainless steel or something like that.
Yeah, we don't
but for
want
now,
to do this, but
yeah. By the way, sorry for an episode that we just talk. If we don't do that now, we will lose this explanation because we are moving on the boat, and then there is no space on the next videos to talk about the drain. And that's something that we took a lot of thinking to ended up doing. That took a lot of effort of a lot of people. We had some people visiting the boat and checking, and a lot of people's opinion. And I think it's something really important on this boat is a critical moment.
And we just decided this after painting the hull, so that's why it's like this now.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that before we painted the bottom part of the hull. But as she said, we didn't know, we had no solution until then.
For the painting
But
system. We
problem.
were still deciding the painting system for this.
Yeah, but it's no problem because now we're gonna just sand around the end of the pipe and we're gonna treat just the round really well, and then we can paint the anti-falling paint. I think I did 12 minutes. It wasn't that long. I mean 12 minutes on the camera. It's just something that I needed to explain. I wanted to explain. This is probably a boring episode. Sorry for that. She's gonna say don't say sorry.
But I want to open something that we received that someone made made for us.
That's really cool.
He is waiting for. I'm excited.
Yeah,
to
she's
open
been
it.
trying to open this for a week now, and I said no, just when we record the episode.
Last year. Since last year, I'm waiting since Christmas.
But
so
I said no, we need to
it.
see the real expression of opening for the first time. It's not real if we opened before, so yeah.
So we are gonna pause the video. So I'm gonna get the gift, and we are gonna show you when we are gonna
Just a second. Where is it?
Thanks a lot, Dario. I have no words to describe this.
Yeah, we're really excited to see that. Get hurt. She's so excited that she's gonna get hurt.
Oh,
That's so cool.
cute.
Oh, there's something. Huh? Good luck with all your adventures.
Oh,
That's so cool. I don't know if you can read. It says, "Good luck with all of your adventures, Dario Strokes." That's so cool.
thanks a lot, Dario. We
Dario-
love it.
Thanks so much. We love it, the gift. And we're gonna put somewhere on the boat, we're gonna put the old name of the boat, so we can remember that this boat once was called a boat. That's so cool. Yeah, thanks so much. And if you guys don't know, Dario Strokes also has a channel that it's funny because this was a surprise for us. But he did a video on his channel building this, and then someone told us. Someone sent us a message saying, "Oh, I just found out your channel because Dario made a sign for you guys." And then we discovered our gift that was supposed to be a surprise before, but it was a surprise because we didn't know about this.
He's building a camper van.
Yeah, we're gonna link on the description. We're gonna put the link of his YouTube channel when he built this. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, but I think I talked too much already today, right?
Let's welcome on board our new patrons.
So welcome aboard.
Gary,
Bill,
Robert,
Christoph,
Paul,
Lois,
Bill.
and also thanks a lot for the donations to our PayPal.
Thanks a lot, Ilan.
And Uwe.
So we see you guys
Next week. See you guys next Monday.
Soltou.